Because people that shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me, too.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. Well, it's been a long day. If we can't accept limitations, we're no better than bad guys.
That's not the way I see it.
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do?
We fight.
Sorry, Tony. You know I wouldn't do this if I had any other choice. But he's my friend. So was I.
Oh, man. Last time y'all saw us here doing Winter Soldier, I told you that Winter Soldier is my favorite movie of all time. And for years, I had to fight the feeling that Civil War was better. I kept saying to everybody, no, Civil War ain't better. Did you see how good Captain America Winter Soldier was? That storyline is crazy. And then for whatever reason, I say this all the time to our unpopular review wrestling people. I need to come on over to the entertainment side, because what makes this part of our network the best is rewatch ability. Yes. And to sit back, and I've watched this movie a ton of times. I cannot lie, guys. I am Mike Papa Knox. That is Vic Damone Jr. The Mark. That is Freckle Sensei. This is Unpopular Review Entertainment. We are the Wolf Pack. And of course, it's one thing and one thing only we care about around here.
Tonight's broadcast has been commandeered by the secret society No Ma'am, National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood.
So don't be around her acting like a little. All right. So Civil War. I don't know. It was like getting some ass for the very first time as I watched it. I just watched it with a different set of lenses. Let's talk about Civil War, guys. First of all, when all the turmoil that took place in Captain America Winter Soldier, we get to this Civil War. We start off with no other than Iron Man. He's going through this $600 million pair of glasses that he made that he called his self-therapy session. And at this point, he goes back to leave, and the lady says, hey, you remember this? This would happen. This would happen. My son was there. The Accords had began because they're trying to catch Crossbones, Captain America, and his team. And lo and behold, Scarlet Witch blows up half a building, all a building, if not. Right. So America says enough, not just America, but the United Nations says enough is enough. We got to put a muzzle on the Avengers and what you guys do. And this begins the Civil War. And this isn't a Civil War that we're used to, at least the one that I was accustomed to me, which is the Civil War, which comes where it's Spider-Man's at the helm of it. But hey, this is what they wrote. It's Marvel. 9.5 out of 10 times they don't drop the ball during this MCU run they had. And you get this movie, you get introduced to Black Panther. Never, ever will I forget that theater going ape shit crazy. May he rest in peace, our King Chadwick Boseman. Wakanda forever! We will never forget that moment. But this starts the whole thing where they go find Bucky. They're trying to save Bucky. And Iron Man finds out, oh, he killed my mom. And it's the stakes get raised to the level. You got one side of the Avengers versus another side of the Avengers. And they introduce to you another scene in this movie where they go get, you see the man got his shirt on, the neighborhood Spider-Man get introduced to the MCU for the first time. And to me, I know the executive consultant, he always takes a lot of strays on this network, Vic, but I have to say he's been saying for years, he called this Avengers 1.0, because as before the Avengers really got good, this was the first one that really, that did it well for them. This is like he puts this as an adventure movie. And that's pretty much what it was. But hey, it's titled Captain America Civil War. I'm going to start with you, Victor Moan Jr. Your thoughts on this, to me, awesome film.
Well, it kind of felt like a border transition to the MCU, like, because after this movie, a lot of things changed, and some things for certain characters became a little bit more elaborate, like this, especially with Spider-Man. Like, this pretty much introduced Spider-Man in a great way. I loved how Cap and Spider-Man interacted as New Yorkers. Like, I really loved that.
Where you from? Queens?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a real New York thing. You know what I mean? Because everybody from certain boroughs are just different in certain ways. And a
Harlem cat when you see a Harlem cat. It's just what a Harlem cat is.
Yeah. Exactly. Like you could tell somebody from the Bronx by the way. You could feel you could feel Brooklyn swag on certain people. Like there's there's I mean, mind you, like Captain America comes from a time where a Brooklyn accent was a thing.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's done.
That's gone. Oh, that's a damn shame.
Wow, really?
You gotta find the only way you find that is like in Sheepshead Bay, Southern Brooklyn, like people that. But those people got to be at minimum 70 years old.
Wow. Now like, my age, I'm not that old, and I lived the height of my love and years in East New York. Yeah. All right, picking projects, baby. You know what I mean?
No. I'm talking about. No. That's not the Brooklyn accent I'm talking about. Like,
okay.
I'm
talking
about Brooklyn Dodgers, Brooklyn Dodger fans, and like, you know what I mean? Shit that Captain America is attached to. Now, the other thing with this
age group.
The other thing about this, and the reason why. Like, I understand why people call it an Avengers movie. But watching it back, it really is more of a Captain America movie because he's torn between protecting the only person that understands his predicament.
Only person understands him.
Yeah, like he's in his 90s or late 80s at this point.
Right. Hella shape.
And the thing is, like, he literally went through the same. They both went through the same thing, and he understands why the Winter Soldier did what he did. But then he also like is struggling with how much stuff has changed and like how things have become, especially with everything that happened with Shield. Like Shield is supposed to push one thing, but then it's pretty much just coming out to be something else.
Shield was Hydra.
Yeah. So now, but then the thing is that Captain America is the ultimate Boy Scout, right? But then we live in a world where the Boy Scouts are no longer a big thing. You know what I mean? It really does. You have the Girl Scouts, but you only hear about them when they're selling cookies.
When it's cookie time.
Exactly. So my point is just that the guy was pretty much torn, and the way that they told the story was very compelling, especially with Tony, because his mother Maria dies in this movie, and then it's the Winter Soldier that kills his parents. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing that was compelling to me, especially now, and I didn't think about this before until now, is that that little simulation that Tony did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we're doing that within the next 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised if that kind of thing is part of therapy. We already have a MetaQuest 3, in a short amount of time. These VR headsets are really, really something. And it really made me think about the technology that's coming up now, because truth be told, you know, we got like 4 or 5 Jarvises in our pockets now.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, that kind of technology was like a feat. Like, you know, it felt like the Jetsons. But more and more every day, we're getting closer to the Jetsons. You know what I'm saying? We really are. And I really found that whole simulation quite interesting. There's a lot of things in this movie that are interesting because, like I said in the beginning, like this is kind of like a border to the future, because after this, you know, not long after this came the Spider-Man movies and Endgame and all of that, and everybody here what was involved, you know. And mind you, like the other thing that made me think about it a lot is Wanda, because Wanda played a small role, but she played a big role. Because she blew up that building by mistake, because you know there was a guy trying to kill Cap. Mm-hmm. The guy that was trying to kill Cap in the elevator. So
crossbones, yeah.
And
he released that gas.
Mm-hmm. But then still, like Wanda just, you know, she made the mistake of throwing it up, and then it hit the building and bomb. A whole bunch of people died. So then the other thing it reminded me of was Sabretooth's father, Stryker, when he when he was trying to, you know, like when there was a problem, and then he was trying to get rid of all the mutants. Mm-hmm. And they were treated, and you know, all the superheroes were treated like mutants. Yeah, like they were like they were the plague and they were the problem, and we had to control them. So I found all of that quite interesting. You know, I know that went all over the place, but
I get it.
But yeah, this movie is very compelling because I remember the marketing, I remember how big it was. I remember
Of course, you remember the marketing. It's you. It's like you remember the marketing. I remember that it was one of the first grossing big movies.
Yeah, this was.
That they had. This movie grossed they had a $250 million budget, and it grossed 1.15 billion.
No, because what I mean by that is just that, like, you know, sometimes they put so much hype towards a movie, and then prior to you seeing it, you kind of know how everybody feels. Like right now, we're all anticipating the new Captain America, you know, but then by March, I think we're going to be looking at it in a different light. You know, I think we're definitely going to be ready for the next cycle, because clearly that's not going to be one movie. You know what I'm saying?
We don't know. The way they changed that MCU, I personally think that the next Captain America movie that's coming out is they're not that it may have had a thought to have more movies, but now that we know they're bringing other people back, I don't think there's planning for a second one. It's going straight after that Avengers movie, Doomsday, into Secret Wars. So Sam might be a one and done Captain America. Freckle Sensei, your take on this movie that had, I mean, like literally every person was in this damn movie, from like Iron Man to Sam to Bucky to Ant-Man to Arrow to Black Panther to
Zemo,
that's the only negative of this entire movie to me. And not that he played a bad role with Zemo, but it wasn't. We don't get the real Zemo. We don't get Baron. We get Secret Wars, the one that came on Disney Plus. That's the only time you got him with the mask of Zemo. If you didn't know who that character was, like my wife didn't know that, you know, that he didn't have the sword. He wasn't the Zemo.
Yeah, we didn't get the Baron one. We didn't get Baron. We didn't get Baron. We got just regular Zemo. Yeah, but so we did say that, you know, I said the last movie was top 3. This is top 2 best movie of all time when it comes to the MCU. And this is why. One, this is if anybody that's a Marvel fan, y'all knew this was coming. When the first Avengers came out, and they was grabbing on the spear, and Tony and Cap was going at it. Even in Age of Ultron, the way they was beefing then, you knew it was just a little sprinkle here, sprinkle there, sprinkle there, sprinkle there, sprinkle there. Like, it's about to happen. It's about to happen, where it's about to be a split. And if you follow the comics, you knew we needed a split. It was bound to happen. Thank God that this time Luke Cage did not get killed by Thor. But anyway, because if Thor was in this movie, good God, I don't even know what would have happened.
There was a reason why they kept him away.
Right.
Where is that?
Well, they kept him and Hulk away because they would have tilted the balance scale.
Yeah,
this was the best you could fight because you had Vision on one side, you had Wanda on one side, you had Wanda, on one side, you had Kurt on one side. It really split the balance of power between the Avengers that were left. If you bring in the big heavy hitters, which is Thor and Hulk, that changes the dynamic.
It wouldn't have been fair at all.
You put Thor on one of those sides, it's a wrap. You put Hulk on one of those sides, it's a wrap.
Facts.
No, seriously, for real. But yes, this was so complete, so great. Like the dynamic. Yes, I hate that I mostly sided with Iron Man. Of like,
you should be,
but it's only because of what Natasha said. It really wasn't what Iron Man said. It was really what Natasha was saying. Where she was like, okay, maybe we just listen them out for a little bit, and then once we start getting into like the nitty-gritty stuff of where like it's a real big problem, then we take over. We already gained their trust
side though. So I'm confused.
No, because remember in the beginning,
she takes Cap's side.
She does, but I still was on the concept of like, yes, this makes sense. Try to be on their side a little bit, make it look like y'all cool, and then I mean, y'all the freaking Avengers. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, make it look cool until there's a threat. And you be like, hey, sit down.
I mean, you know what, though? But it makes sense that she takes Cap's side because she's straight intel.
Yes.
Like she doesn't have any superpowers. Like, she is like somebody who learned a whole bunch of skills. Like, if they, like, she would be perfect. She would be perfect for, like, that movie Taken. Like,
because she's an assassin.
You know what I mean? Like she's that chick that like just knows all of this stuff. So it makes sense for her to take Cap's side because she's so educated.
I always think that it's a fair point for me to say, because I can be very opinionated, that neither side was wrong.
Yeah,
right. I think it was just. I think you just take. This movie was the biggest emotional jerker in the history of the MCU to me, because you want to cheer for the Avengers side, which is what Captain America was saying. Like, hey, we can't have them dictate us. We see what S.H.I.E.L.D. has done. We cannot let them run us and tell us what to do and when to do it. And then he finds, like you said, Vic, he finds his best friend, who's the only person that can relate to him and what he needs. But then at the same time, I mean, I don't have my mother anymore. And neither did Iron Man. He said, hey, one of the best lines in this whole movie, he said, yo, I was your friend. He said, I was your friend too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we were friends too.
That hit. Well, he was when he said that.
But he killed
that was
my
mom. He was like, I'm sorry, but he's my best friend. He was like, so was I. Like that, yeah.
Go ahead, Freckles. You were saying.
Also, I didn't like the fact. See, that was my other problem. Is had Vision never never injured freaking War Machine.
I love that part. That's the best part.
That fight would have it was a great part, but that fight would not have went down like that. That 2-on-1 would not have happened because
but it needed to. Listen, Iron Man held his own.
He did.
He really truly did. You know, like these early words analyzed. Give me this shield back,
bro. Oh yeah, that was wild. He was like, you don't deserve the shield. My dad like that, bro. Man, when Black Panther was just standing on business the whole entire movie, like we just knew it was gonna happen. When that bomb happened, we was like, "Oh shit!"
He said, "We got our own justice. I'm gonna kill him."
I'm gonna kill him. And then he realizes, like, everybody's doing this violence and vengeance. I need to somebody has to be different.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I forgot that the Winter Soldier killed Black Panther. The old Panther.
Yeah, the Chaka.
You know what I mean? I forgot that he did that. And then it just made me think back to like, damn, man, the Wakandans are really forgiving.
No, he was forgiving. Remember, that was Black Panther. That was the issue. That's how
I mean, because
Killmonger was able to infiltrate Wakanda, not just because he was a true Wakandan. One of the lines M'Baku said to him, he said, "You could even keep your own father alive, or bring back the guy who killed your dad," because they were really blaming. What's my man? What's the name? What's the hand?
Oh, Claw.
Claw. They were really blaming him because he gave them the weapons to blow up. He the one who gave the Winter Soldier the weapon.
No, but I mean, way after the fact, because Zuri helped the guy that killed her father.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, later on, yeah. Okay,
she's the one who, like, in my opinion, she's the one that created the White Wolf.
She's exactly what she did.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So like she's somebody that's like very, very forgiving as far as
until the second movie. God,
I think that was more her brother's influence.
Probably.
And that's what, you know, what it was tell people.
They were trying to go for a new regime. They were trying to go for a new regime.
Great is by you having that ability to forgive. It's what makes Superman Superman. What it's worth. You know what I mean? It's being able to they're who we could never be. You know what I'm saying? Because you killed my dad, I don't like you.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah, I'm coming for your head. Like, I'm coming for
and it's crazy, but then at the same time, like, I also remember there was one scene where and I forget what movie this was from, but one of the Wakandan soldiers was able to take Bucky's arm off immediately.
Oh, that was back in the Winter Soldier.
Okay. So like
he disarmed that bitch.
Yeah, right away. Right away. So then, like, there was like, it's like they forgave him, but then at the same time they still were worried about whatever
in case.
Whatever Hydra might be able to control. You know, maybe they have some type of command that all of a sudden he's not out of control of. So it, you know, just that whole thing with him, with Bucky around, is just interesting to me because you know, because clearly, like, we're having a changing of the guard when it comes to Captain America, but not necessarily with Bucky.
Yeah,
you know, and watching this back, a lot of the fight is pretty much over Bucky.
Yeah, a lot of it's over Bucky. Cap's trying to save him. They're trying to find him because he's guilty for what he did with blowing up the U.S. nation, you know, and so they're after him, and that's what makes this movie. That's what gives you so many different emotional things in this movie. This is, again, as we said during the other two movies, and talking about Captain America, First Avenger, and Winter Soldier. Marvel, to me, when they write these movies, not Avenger type movies, right? When they're doing, and I'm not talking about, like, to me, Ant-Man, they don't compare to the Captain America movie. They don't compare the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They don't compare to me, Falcon and Winter Soldier. They were so good in how they were written.
Yeah.
And
I feel it, because I'm honestly, like, I really like Ant-Man.
Well, this is mostly a filler.
But the thing about Ant-Man that I like the most is I would love to have cars inside of, like, a briefcase. and then like a building that I could just travel with, like, luggage.
Did you see the Rock's movie, Chris movie, Red One?
I haven't seen it. I gotta see it.
So if you got Amazon Prime, it's on there. Remember, my kids, we kind of enjoyed it. Where he grabs the car and shoots it. And you got Wonder Woman, right? It's actually a pretty damn good movie. But hey, final thumbs up, thumbs down. Can I say it's a thumbs up for everybody here?
Yep.
And Team No Man. Yep. Team No Man, thumbs up.
Tonight's broadcast has been commandeered by the secret society No Man, National Organization of Men Against Amazonian Masterhood.
$1.1 billion this movie made.
That makes sense.
Insane.
And it led to not Endgame. What's the first one? I'm sorry.
Well, Infinity War.
Infinity Wars, because this is when you see the end of Cap for a while, and you get to Infinity War, and he makes it again. There's big pops in movies in the MCU. Spider-Man's being one of them. Black Panther being another one in the same movie we're talking about now. And then in Infinity War, when you see Captain America come back, it was insane. At that point, that theater went crazy. Guys, we're going to get up out of here. Comment below. Let us know. Unpop Review Entertainment. The link is in the bottom. Please follow all our social media networks. Please subscribe to our Patreon page. The link's in the bio. You can do that easily by clicking on the link in the bio and donating anything you have to donate. We're not asking for TV dinners here, so anything you got to offer us, we would appreciate. I am Mike Papa Knox. That is Vic Damone Jr. That is Spider-Man, Captain America, Freckle Sensei, and we are out of here. We see y'all next time, y'all. Peace.
I just want to make sure we consider all our options. Because people that shoot at you usually wind up shooting at me too.
Captain, you seem a little defensive. Well, it's been a long day. If we can't accept limitations, we're no better than bad guys. That's not the way I see it.
You know what's about to happen. Do you really want to punch your way out of this?
What do?
We fight.
Sorry, Tony.
You know I wouldn't do this if I had any other choice. But he's my friend.
So was I.